Show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. We're having ourselves a pretty good day today. Much better than the weather, I guess you could say. Mostly cloudy skies, very damp and miserable out there right now. Higher humidities, that's what we're looking at. Chances of precipitation, a little bit of precipitation, fog, nice rain shower activity in terms of not a lot, but still it's raining. I guess if you haven't already received 2 and 3 inches of rain over the last 24 hours. Some of you really didn't pick up that much at all as far as moisture goes. And many of you did not experience any high winds like some areas did before. And we'll touch on all of that in just a moment. Joining me here at Radio Center is Matthew Lester. Matthew, good morning. What are we looking at as far as temperatures right now?
Well, over at the airport, it's foggy at 70. Over in Midland, we have light rain at 69. Here at Radio Center, it's cloudy at 71. We have calm winds, and our pressure is 29.88, and it's rising.
What about the humidity? What do we have right now?
For our humidity, we have, I believe, 93.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's drizzling here at Radio Center. Many of you, that's what you're experiencing right now. Many of you wish that that's all you got as far as moisture goes over the last 24 hours. Very impressive rainfall amounts, very unusual to see, not so much this time of the year, but on any given day to see so many locations picking up at least an inch of rain. And then you get down into the southeastern corner of the Lower Peninsula, where they didn't pick up all the rain shower activity that we did yesterday morning. But through the afternoon and overnight, Detroit at Metro Airport had 3.1 inches of rain. Ann Arbor had close to 3 inches, about 2.9. Pontiac at the airport there, about 1.25 inches. And then Mount Clemens, they had over 3 inches in the last 24 hours. Looking at closer to home, Auburn, 5/100ths of an inch. That's it. Oil City in Midland County, 2/100ths of an inch. Now, Chesaning, they had 1/4 of an inch. Frankenmuth reported a little bit more, but not much in the last 24 hours, at least at the airport. Now, there were many locations around Frankenmuth that had more than 1/1200ths of an inch, which is what the airport picked up. Saginaw, we're looking at some of the reports in the immediate Saginaw area, less than 1/10 of an inch over the last 24 hours, as we indicated to a lot of the farmers yesterday, where a lot of locations in Michigan's thumb, the Vassar area, Akron, Fairgrove, even over in Munger, where they were looking at upwards of 2 inches of rain. It wasn't raining at all here at Radio Center. It was very dark. It was more like 9 o'clock at night than it was at 9 o'clock in the morning. But we just didn't see the rainfall, and we did not get the wind. We did have some reported wind gusts of more than 70 miles per hour in the Vassar area, the Richville area, east of Reese, over in that region, which resulted in widespread power outages. But again, those were very isolated and not necessarily widespread. Now, as far as precipitation tallies go, up in Huron County, Bad Axe had a little bit better than 1.33 inches. The Fillion area, more than 1.5 inches. Port Austin had just under 1/2 inch. Saginaw County, Chesaning, 1/4 of an inch. And around the immediate Saginaw area, 1/10, maybe. That was it. You get over into Tuscola County, Caro had 1.25 inches officially reported at their airport. There were a number of locations around the Caro area that had at least half again as much. Cass City reported 2.3. 2.3. Almost took my breath away. Vassar officially had 1 1/10 inch of precipitation. And again, some isolated areas in the Millington area, south of Vassar and east of Vassar, where they had upwards of 2 inches. And the rivers and the streams are certainly showing it this morning. Sanilac County, a little bit better than an inch in Lexington. Shiawassee County, Durand, Owasso, just to give you an idea, less than 1/100th of an inch in those particular locations. Genesee County, Burton 7/10, Goodrich about 1.25 inches. Lapeer had about 1.25 inches. Algonac and St. Clair County looking at 1.25 inches down. Then Livingston County, so we're getting a little bit closer to Ann Arbor and the Detroit area. Whitmore Lake, which is just north of Ann Arbor, 2.25 inches of rain. Farmington and Oakland County, 2.25 inches there as well. Saline, 1 inch. Manchester, 1/4 inch, and Chelsea, 1/10 inch. Dearborn, 2.5 inches. Grosse Pointe Farms, 2.5 inches. Tecumseh had a little bit better than 1 inch. Tipton had 2/3 of an inch. Dundee in Monroe County, almost 4 inches of rain in the last 24 hours. Then you move up north. Alpena had 3/4 inch. Atlanta had 2/10. The Charlevoix area, not even 1/10 inch. Sheboygan, about 4/10. East Tawas had 44/100 inch. The Gaylord area, 2/3 inch. Gladwin, just barely a trace. Glenny, 3/4 inch. The Mayo area, 13/100. Lipton reporting 85/100 inch. The Standish area, just under 1/4 inch. And West Branch had 1.2 inches of rain in the last 24 hours. Over in the Tawas City area, they had 1.25 inches as well. St. Ignace had about 1/2 inch. So that kind of gives you an idea. Very widespread shower activity. Some people, as we said before, getting nothing. Other people getting a whole bunch. As a result, we had some thunderstorm activity, some damage, some flooding, and it looks as though we're going to watch another system that will be coming from the north, dropping south a little bit later on this afternoon after 3 o'clock. We should see a little bit of sun as we go into the afternoon. If we get that sun, our temperature will peak out at right around 80 degrees and the higher humidity. Later on, though, that chance of precipitation will increase. Low pressure system over Lake Erie by later on this evening. With that counterclockwise circulation, that's what's going to be pulling that system down over top of Saginaw Bay to the immediate west of the bay. You get a little bit further inland in Michigan, the chances of precipitation really drop off. And once you get to the 127 corridor over by Mount Pleasant, it's going to be a toss-up if they get any precipitation at all. Later on tonight, more than likely just after sunset, clearing skies. 67 is going to be our low temperature. North breeze, 7-8 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mostly sun, 78. A system is going to be crossing Saturday night and early Sunday, or I should say late Friday night, early Saturday morning tomorrow. 78 for a high, 62 for a low. Then during the day on Saturday, a spotty shower early, but sun as the day goes on. The low pressure system will be over Lake Ontario, so we will be getting a little bit of a northeast breeze. By a little bit, I say 15, 20 miles per hour, gusting up to 25 on Saturday. After a high of 72, we're going to drop down to 51, so it'll be a little bit cooler. Then during the day on Sunday, mostly sunny skies, 72 for a high, 50 for a low. Monday, sunshine, upper 70s, middle 50s for a low. Then on Tuesday, we're going to start off with partly cloudy skies. 72 is our projected high. Right now, it appears as though there will be a weak system that will be crossing the state from north. So we could see some showers scattered in intensity later in the day on Tuesday into early Tuesday night, then clearing off with a low of 52. Then on Wednesday, sunshine, 70 degrees. Long range, below average on the temperatures to take us right up to the Labor Day holiday. Then starting with the Labor Day holiday through that first full week of September, temperatures will be running above average. For the entire period of time, below average on the moisture. Record high in the state is 98, set back in 1948. The record low 42, set in 1951. A year ago, we picked up about 2/3 of an inch of rain on this date. 85 was our high, 61 was our low. Sun will set this evening at 8:26, rise tomorrow morning at 6:52. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, who do we have, Matthew?
Up next, we have Gary Kaufman from Star of the West and Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
But before we get to all of that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth. They've got all those Farmall tractors ready to do the job for you. Which one do you think you need? All you got to do is ask the folks at Weiss Equipment, and they'll pair you up with the right Farmall tractor you need. Get that job done efficiently with that right Farmall tractor. They stock anything from the Value Pack Compact Farmall A Series to the Deluxe Compact Farmall C and C Series with cabs. The tractor does it all, so no matter what you're doing, Can Do comes in red, and it's called Farmall. Find out more about those Farmall tractors by stopping by Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. We say good morning to Gary Kaufman at Star of the West. Gary, how's things going today?
Well, good morning there, Terry. Well, another typical day in the market, kind of choppy trade again. One day it's up, which was yesterday, and today we got some red on the board, but we do have one green on the board, and that's the soybean pit. They seem to be hanging on to the positive, barely, but again, Terry, storylines haven't changed. In the wheat, we got the Black Sea, Russia, Ukraine, in the headlines every day, and, with constant strikes on port infrastructures in Ukraine, that should be supportive, but wheat seems to be kind of leaning towards the weak demand in our U.S. wheat exports. That's kind of, it's kind of back and forth, so that's kind of what's driving the wheat. Soybeans, basically, we had a firmer trade yesterday, but today it's hanging on, and again, the dryness, the heat is kind of weighing on the soybeans, so that's giving a little bit of positive. And of course, we got the Pro Farmer Tour coming out, and yesterday we had a positive on the corn and beans because of maybe a little less yield out there than what traders were anticipating. And today is just, I think, they don't know which side of the fence to be on. So,
yeah. Do we really know what side of the fence we should be on these days?
Well, it's hard to say, but some analysts feel the corn yields going to finish a little bit lower than what the last month USDA report told us. I think it was 175.1. So they're kind of leaning towards maybe 173 on one side of the fence, but on the other side of the fence, they're thinking, it should go up, should be 177. So you got players on both sides all the time, and and we've been seeing that in the market. It's just choppy. It's just up and down, and we look at last Friday's close, Terry, to where we at today. New crop wheat for next year is unchanged for the week, where we got soybeans up about 8 for the week, and wheat and corn down about 9 on the cash for the week. So,
I still got a funny feeling that our soybeans and our corn are going to finish up a little bit better than what a lot of folks are thinking, because when you take a look at crops like the wheat, I mean, there were a lot of folks had no idea they were going to get the yield that they got out of that wheat crop. And some of these growers that I've talked to, especially yesterday at the Bean and Beet Research Farm, indicated to me that they had what they felt the best wheat they had ever had.
Yeah, no, we heard some tremendous yields on the wheat, not only in our backyards, but across the whole region, Ohio, Indiana, Ontario, New York. It was a fantastic yielding crop on the wheat. And I agree with you, Terry, on the corn. You wonder who's doing the crop tour out there sometimes. What kind of kernels? Are they counting the kernels right? Or
Well, and some of this corn is about 12 feet tall, and it's got 3, maybe even 4 cobs.
Yeah, and long cobs.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, something else. So what do you got on the board right now?
Sure, Terry. Yeah, right now we've got cash wheat down 8 at $5.75 on the white, $5.20 on the red. New crop for next year down 6 at $6.61 on the white, $6.01 on the red. Cash corn, let's call it down 7 at $4.74. New crop down a nickel at $4.25. Let's call it cash soybeans unchanged at $13.41, and new crop also unchanged at $12.91.
You have a great day. Have a great weekend, Gary. We'll talk to you next week, okay?
Thanks, Terry. You too.
Bet. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. To Doug Klein we go from Oppenheimer. The market report brought to you by Freeland Bean and Grain. They're equipped to take care of whatever you need, Mr. Farmer. And if it's taking a look at that wheat stubble and maybe doing some soil testing, maybe they've got some advice that they want to pass along to you about how you can improve your crop. Not so much this year anymore as it will be for the next few months coming up. They can do it. Vic Huffer is a certified crop advisor over at Freeland Bean and Grain. And whatever questions you've got, my guess is he's got the answers. Freeland Bean and Grain, serving you since 1983, or serving you is their business. Doug Klein, well, you and I have talked for a long, long time, and every time we talk about these billionaires overseas, and then we talk about all these military people overseas, and how common it is that either they fall downstairs or they get in a car accident or something. And wouldn't you know it, in the last 24 hours, now this guy had nothing to do with money, but a fella that they didn't really like wound up in an airplane crash. And they don't know if there was a bomb on board or it was shot down.
Ask Hillary. She probably knows.
Oh, Lord. I don't know. So they have a way of doing things over there, don't they? Yeah.
All works out.
Yep. Sure.
Oh boy. Well, I'm shaking in my boots.
Oh.
We've been talking about how it seems like, an episode of The Simpsons from 20 years ago becomes our reality today, or a book from 1945 becomes our reality today. Fukushima is releasing radioactive water into the ocean as we speak. Now, you know what that brings up? Godzilla. We're in trouble.
Oh.
No, I'm shaking in my boots.
Canceled that trip to Tokyo, didn't you?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh, but anyway, kind of mixed markets today. Nothing exciting. I mean, the numbers in natural gas came out, and kind of like on cue, they push for higher natural gas prices this week, and next week could be the same, except in the opposite direction. But who knows? NVIDIA's earnings came out; they were unbelievable, up over 110%. So their stock was up like $35 on the open this morning, but it opens in a vacuum. Nobody's selling, so whoosh goes up to $500 and some dollars a share. But now it's up about $7. So it's a very fast, volatile market. When there's no sellers, it goes straight up. There's no buyers, it goes straight down. And hold on to your pants, because everything is wild nowadays. So here's your numbers. The August corn is 471. That's
You still there? Nope. I think we lost him, Matthew. Yep. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Let's try to get him back on because he's got some pretty important information there. While we're waiting for that, I want to pass along to you that coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend, the Michigan Bean Festival is going to be presenting their 77th annual festival at the Bean Festival grounds on Liberty Street in Fairgrove. Karaoke, 3 nights of demolition derby, bump and rum. Of course, free bean soup, crafters, vendors, all sorts of activity going on. Cornhole tournament, kids pedal pull, chicken barbecue, parade. That's on Monday, Labor Day, live auction, car show, bingo, fireworks, and a whole lot more. Folks at Star of the West in Frankenmuth invite you to attend the 77th annual Michigan Bean Festival, which kicks off at 6 o'clock on Friday, September the 1st. And as we said, goes all the way through Labor Day. Plenty of food to eat, plenty of fun for the kids, and lots of entertaining programs, and the selection of the Michigan Bean Queen, which is also going to be held during the festival. Again, the Michigan Bean Festival in Fairgrove, starting on September the 1st and going through Labor Day. Farm Service is brought to you by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. We're back now with Doug Klein. I think the Russians were listening, Doug.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hillary.
Yes. All right. So where did we leave off?
Where did we leave off? I just rambled on. I didn't hear any of it.
I think we made it through the grains.
Made through grains.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can start at crude oil. Crude oil is at 78.44. That's down 15 cents. Heating oil is 303.41. That's up a penny and a quarter. Gasoline is 245.76. That's up 0.3 of a penny. Probably puts us around 310. But that's a November contract, so maybe they'll get it down by then, but not yet. Natural gas is 313.70. That's up 9.25 cents. Like I said, it's on the news that the build and the draw and the usage and all that stuff. So that's this week's numbers. Who knows? By next week, it could be exactly opposite. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar buys $1.3562 at the border. That's up 37 ticks. The dollar buys 145.75 yen. That's up 92 ticks. The euro's at 108.25. That's down 34 ticks. And the dollar is at 103.84. That's up 42.5 ticks. Gold's at 1920.50. That's actually unchanged. Silver's 24.25, down 13.5 cents. And platinum's at 943.30. That's up $5.10.
You have a great day, Doug.
You too.
We'll talk to you later. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. They do have lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. Stop by any of their conveniently located offices today and see how they can become your hometown financial solution. FrankenmuthCU.org. Jerry Samolsky joining us right now from Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville with the plant of the week.
Yes, we've got it, Terry. We're on a roll. This is 2 of 3 that are going to have sweet flowers. So this week is going to be Sweet Spire, and the flowers are white, long bottle brush flowers, 3 to 6 inches long. They kind of droop. It's a deciduous shrub, so a leafy shrub that will, different varieties will get you different heights, 2 to 3 foot high and wide, all the way up to 4 and 5 feet high and wide, and one in the middle as well. They're like full sun to part shade. Blooms are only white, and they'll take a little bit heavier soil, but you know what? They're very adaptable, easy to grow, and the deer aren't going to be there. You know, they might be the last thing to eat, but deer just don't eat anything. You there, Terry?
I'm here. I'm
so
sucking
anyway,
it all up. So anyway, they're at the nursery, right?
Yes, they are, Terry, and we're here 9 to 5, 5 days a week, and then Saturday 9 to 2. Beautiful plants, Terry. Come get one for you.
Hey, sure will. Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Are you upset with your current planter performance? Are you considering buying a new planter but blown away from sticker shock? With Precision Planting's V-Set, V-Drive, and Delta Force, we can retrofit your old planter to outperform any new planter on the market. Then access all your data from planting to harvest easily with Field View. Call PC Ag Solutions today and get your parts ordered, installed, and ready to go for the upcoming growing season. 989-868-4444. PC Ag Solutions.
It happens after every commercial building gets built.
That looks great, boys. Wow, what a change. The owners are going to be thrilled.
Even after cleaning up the garage or shed. That leftover scrap metal can be a burden, but it doesn't have to be, and it can make you some cash. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal is a metal recycling company that'll pay you cash and recycle your metal for the future. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal also makes it easy. We can provide containers for industrial manufacturing facilities and small specialty shops for moving and storing scrap metals. Looking to scrap a vehicle? We got you. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal in Saginaw, just north of the Dow Event Center. Also located in West Branch, 1 mile off I-75 and M76. Schedule a car pickup or check metal prices now at rifkin-co.com. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal, recycling today for tomorrow.
The seasons change, but the chores never stop. It's time to gear up for fall with a John Deere compact tractor from Hudson. Plenty of inventory and thousands in savings, like a 23-horse 1023E with loader for just $17,499. And right now at Hudson, get financing as low as 0% for 84 months on select models. Offer ends October 27th. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. A John Deere compact tractor from Hudson. Your fall chores just got easier. HudsonInc.com.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WS